Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to Korean Atlanta Mentorship. So in this video, I'm going to talk about the easiest way to get rich. And this is not definitely not a step-by-step video, but it's more about your mindset, right? And the easiest way to get rich or is to have the mindset that you're going to care about other people. Now, really started to think about this many, many years ago when I felt like I've been either screwed over or abandoned by the people I depended on many, many times. And fool me once, shame on you. Fool me 12, 15 times, shame on me, right? And it's amazing how there are so many people out there who will tell you like they're gonna help you or hey, they're definitely gonna mentor you. And then, you do what they ask you, whether it's they pay you or you spend time with them, and they don't really offer any value, or they kind of like, over exaggerate to the point where they're gonna help you. And I say this as a person who's been almost homeless 3 times, and it's totally kind of my fault because I didn't understand that we lived in a society that's very deceitful and people would rather steal $1 from you than make $1 million with you. Like, it took me a long time to understand this. Like, why would in the world would you steal, especially in the society that we live in, where we're basically over consuming things? Why would you steal $1 from me than make $1 million with me? And kind of like in the that moment in Seinfeld, and Seinfeld is such an old show right now. But I don't know if you ever watched Seinfeld, but there's a moment where one of the characters, George Costanza, was like, in order to succeed, I'm just going to do the opposite of what I've always been doing. If you've never seen Seinfeld, it's hilarious. But he says that, and I thought about, kind of had this epiphany when I was desperate and broke. And maybe I was just totally delusional. I probably had no choice but to be totally delusional. But I was just like, I'm broke and poor right now, and I depended on too many people who let me down. And I said, in order for me to become rich, I'm probably not the only one who's experienced what I'm experiencing. So I'm gonna be super rich because people will want to do business with me because I'm gonna do the exact opposite of what other people are doing. And there's really two things that you need, right, to do. Number one is that you have to have strong leadership, and all strong leadership is you just do what you say you're gonna do, right? Like, weak leadership is you telling other people what they want to hear to get what you want, right? Strong leadership is you doing what you say you're going to do. And I think the thing that really confused me about a lot of people is when they say things like, "Oh my goodness, let's hang out sometime." And then you call them and they act like you're effing weird for taking their offer, right? It's kind of like a salesman who is like knocking on your door trying to sell you a vacuum cleaner. Is like, this is the best vacuum cleaner ever, and then okay, well, here's my credit card, and you can't find that salesman anymore. It's like that's how a lot of people are. And I'm thinking, don't you want my credit card? Isn't like the whole point? Why do you go through all this hoo ha about me, wanting to sell me a vacuum, and then the moment that I pull out my credit card, you're nowhere to be found, right? There's like a lot of companies like that these days where they don't even pick up the phone. It's like, don't you want my business? But my point is that there are too many insincere people out there, and one of the things that you have to be is a sincere person and actually do what you say you're going to do. And I just said, okay, well, I'm just going to get to the point and do what I'm saying going to do, and not going to lie to people because there's no point in that. Because again, I don't understand what the point of wasting my time and the other person's time is, right? Number two, you have to actually care about people, right? And I've actually been made fun of many, many times for talking about this because, again, a lot of people, their mentality and economy is you have to scam people. You'd rather scam somebody $1 than make $1 million with them, right? And because they believe in a society where everything is scarce, even though we live in a society of total overconsumption, right? Well, they live in a world where everything is scarce. They don't value other people because they always think that they're competing with them, right? And what's funny is that this approach has I'll tell you like the sad part. This approach is made fun of by people who don't have money. Like people make fun of me about this when I say like, hey, you just really got to care about other people. So if I tell like the average college student, like you know, the easiest way to have like people give you money is actually just take care of them and care about them, right? And they'll go ahead and make fun of me. Yet people who are in very high positions, who have lots of money, are like, oh my goodness, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You are so awesome. You are the best. They literally tell me these things. And I find it funny how like one approach, this one approach about just doing the exact opposite what the majority of people do is so highly valued by the people who I didn't expect would like appreciate it, yet your average person almost looks down upon it. And that's why I think so many people suffer, because it's kind of like their mentality is that everything has to be like a Squid Game, whereas when you go to upper like higher and higher levels with people with lots of money, you know what their biggest complaint is? I have tons of money, but I can't employ anybody because everybody's so worthless, right? And so if you're a dependable, strong person and you know how to care about other people, and here's the thing, the societal standard for caring about people is so low that if you just pretend to care about them, they will hand you their money, right? I mean, think about like AI boyfriends and girlfriends, right? Like the concept that this thing entity is not real and is fake, showing that they care, is essentially going to be a very incredible profit center, right? Because our standards are so low that if we just pretend that we care about people, people will hand you their money. Okay. Now, what is it that most people do? And I kind of already talked about this, is they don't do what they say that they're going to do. And I already gave the example of the vacuum cleaner salesman. Once you pull out the credit card, um, they're nowhere to be found. And ironically, and this is the weird part, right? And I'm going to go to point number two, is they care about more money more than people. Like they don't see these two things linked together. Have you ever noticed that a lot of people, they're always quote too busy for you, but in this society, the only way that we can make money is that there has to be an actual person giving it to you for the good or service that you're actually providing to them, right? But the way that people act is that the person who's paying for that thing is like their input doesn't matter. I've seen this so many times. It's the most bizarre thing. And then they wonder why they get into like arguments or scuffles with like their customers and stuff, right? Because they act in a way where like the person giving the money is all shouldn't be taken care of, right? Or they care about more money more than they do about people. And there's a saying where it's like love the people and use the money, but so many people love the money and use the people, right? And here's the thing, I say this in a few of my videos where it's like, I make good money, right? And I know why I make the money or where it comes from. But at the same time, I feel like I don't know where it comes from. It's kind of weird, right? And so if you ever want to see what my last HELOC statement is, um, this is my last HELOC statement balance. I put all this income in, and then these are my expenses. And if I'm at a point where this is kind of like my income and expenses, I would say, dang, I'm actually doing pretty well for myself. But at the same time, I feel like even though I feel like there's no difference between me when I was super broke and right now, like personality wise, the only real, maybe, okay, so personalities, there might be a little bit of difference, but I still feel like the same person. But the only reason that I feel like I'm here now is because I honestly don't care what other people think. And the people make fun of me about my approach are like, who cares? Like, I'm committed to helping people and I'm going to show strong leadership and do what I say I'm going to do. And that's something I couldn't do before because I was just trying to follow what other people were telling me to do. Right. But I know, you know, how to, I guess, care about other people and sense what it is that they need. Okay. But most people and I've been a victim of this too, take your vulnerabilities and then try to drown you with them, right? It's kind of sad. But again, why am I here? Because I learned to dedicate myself to helping people. And listen, I'm not like the most lovey-dovey caring person on earth. My standards are kind of low, right? But the fact is that even with my low standards, I don't have to work that hard to show that I care about people. I just don't abandon them, right? And I'm willing to like spend time and I want them to succeed. And sometimes I think to other people's detriment, I feel like I want other people to succeed more. Like, I want them to succeed more than they do, right? But the way that most people work is that sometimes when you try to help them, they think like you're some sort of a sucker for helping them, and then once you like pull away from them, they're wondering like, why don't you want to do business with them, right? But yeah, so easiest way to get rich: first start with the mindset mentality that A, you are going to be a strong leader. A, you do want to take care of other people. Well, not A, that's B, right? So you want to be a strong leader, and then you want to take care of other people. And so even if people make fun of you and most of the people disagree with you, people will be attracted to your character and presence and want to do business with you. Okay? All right. Well, this is Korean Atlanta Mentorship. So hopefully this vague video might give you some sense of what to do. And I totally know this is not a step-by-step video. Also, if you're interested in joining our group, go ahead and click the Google form link below. I might change it. Right now I have a paid link that's kind of discouraging people on purpose from submitting the form, but I might have to come up with the free option a little bit later, but not now. But again, I'm just rambling on and on. Okay, all right. Well, good day, everybody, and we'll speak next time.